Greetings everybody and welcome to Six Gun TV. Today I want to quickly show you the new Amazon Kindle which just arrived at my doorstep this morning, and I want to give you a quick overview and compare and contrast it to the older Amazon Kindle 3 which I've also got, and want to show you what's better about the new one, what's maybe worse. So let's have a look. So this is the new Kindle, the new form factor. This is the €99 baseline Kindle, what they're just now calling the Kindle. If we compare it to my old Kindle 3, you can see that basically the screen is the same size, and they just left out the keyboard. It's about as thick as the Kindle 3. One thing you notice right away if you turn it on, it doesn't have that slide button anymore, it just has a button like this. The thing you first notice is that the screen is much faster. It reacts a lot faster to stuff you do. The page turn buttons are still here and here, like on all the Kindles. But if you look at it turns the page a lot faster. If we compare it to my Kindle 3, and see this has the slide button. If we open the same book on there, you can already see, like if you compare this, just the speed, it changes page, and it doesn't have that annoying black flash anymore, which is pretty cool. So that's the first thing. The second thing you notice, obviously it doesn't have a keyboard. So if you put, if you want to put it in your Wi-Fi, you obviously have to enter your Wi-Fi key. And this is basically the first test, if you can live without a keyboard. It turned out to be really nice, actually. It took me about 3 minutes to enter my Wi-Fi key, and I have one of those 64 pseudo-random character Steve Gibson kind of passwords. So I actually think it works pretty well. It actually works better than on a PlayStation or something like that. So if we now want to take a note, where on the old keyboard Kindle we would have the keyboard, basically we press the keyboard button, and then we get this keyboard, which is actually pretty good to use. I think the key is that the screen is a lot faster. If you see, you don't have to wait for the cursor to move, which on the old Kindle was pretty annoying. Here it's actually it's actually pretty good. I don't know what I'm typing here, but you can see it works quite well. So I think I can live without the keyboard, because let me just cancel this. Go cancel. Because actually the way you hold it is a lot better. If you look at the old Kindle, if you hold it for reading, the keyboard gets in the way. And for me, the page turn buttons weren't, I don't know, I like the Kindle 3, it's a great device, but that was always suboptimal, like the buttons and the keyboard. I like having the keyboard on there for taking notes, but generally I take notes in an actual paper notepad usually. And then also I don't need it really for buying books, because I usually buy books on the web and then just send them wirelessly. The newer Kindle actually fits much better in my hand, and I don't know if they really changed the placement of the buttons. I think they put them a little bit higher, but it just lies in the hand more naturally, and it's just right there. Your thumb is right where the button is. Works really well for me. They also made the buttons a bit smaller. So I really like this form factor, and I think I'm not missing the keyboard. It's lighter than the Kindle 3, unsurprisingly, but it's also like, it feels a bit cheaper. I mean, this is, I don't know, this is like rubberized plastic, but it doesn't feel like plastic. It's like, it feels like metal almost. And the new Kindle, I mean, it feels like plastic, let's be honest. But I think it looks a lot cooler. And you know, it's it's a lot cheaper. You can still buy the Kindle 3. It's now called the Kindle Keyboard, and it's actually more expensive than this one. So if you want the keyboard or if you want the feel, you can still buy that. But I really like the new form factor. I really like it, and I think it just looks cool as hell. It's a really nice device. So the other thing about the screen is not only does it change faster, and now it actually had that flash. Sometimes it has that black flash. I think when it loads the page, I think there was. Sometimes it doesn't do it, but it's definitely a lot faster. Which is, I mean, the page turn on the Kindle 3 was okay, but here it's actually much more handy for the actual user interface, because that was annoying on the Kindle 3. Then it took a bit to actually, you know, move the cursor when you push the button. That felt a bit weird. That's a lot better. The other thing about the screen is actually higher contrast. I don't know if you can actually see that. I tried to take photos and it didn't work. It's like maybe 10% better contrast, which sounds, well, it's not that much, but actually it looks sharper. If you look at it, it just looks better. You don't really know why, but if you compare it to the older one, you see that it's like it's a little bit sharper. I'm not quite sure this will come across on video. Just have to take my word for it. And yeah, that's basically it. I mean, the user interface is the same. The way you sync books and buy books is the same. Well, this my Kindle 3 actually has 3G, which is handy, I must say. But I don't, you know, at home you don't need that, and this Kindle only has Wi-Fi, which I guess is okay. I really like the placement of the buttons. It's just more natural, like the way they're placed reminds me a lot of an Android phone. So that's actually quite handy. And you know, the whole thing, I mean, it feels a little bit cheaper, but it's lighter, and it's a joy to hold. If you read it, like when you're reading, if you hold it, it's just very light. It's a lot lighter than any book you would read. Like I could hold this for hours, which is really nice. So all in all, I would say it's a great device. I would say it's an improvement over the Kindle 3. Although that depends if you need if you need a keyboard. There is a touchscreen version of this, which I think is, I don't think it's out yet. It's basically the same thing. It's with a touchscreen, but I don't, you know, I basically decided to take notes on paper now, so I don't really need that keyboard all the time. And the touchscreen, I don't know, touchscreens are weird on e-readers, like, because, you know, they're not like a mobile phone where it's glass, and I don't really, it's not capacitive touch, I think, and I don't really like that. And also it makes your screen smudgy, which, you know, is worth enough on a phone, but if you're reading, it's really distracting. So and it's more, you know, it costs more. So for all that, you know, if you sum that all up, I don't think I actually want the touchscreen, but I mean, it's up to you. The good thing about the new Kindles is you have a lot of choice now. I really like this. I mean, for 99 euros, this is perfect. I can only, like, if you're ever thinking of getting into ebooks, I think this is the device. This is the best e-reader on the market right now. Amazon has a huge choice. I mean, I bought this on Amazon.de now. I bought the Kindle 3 on Amazon.com, actually. They shipped it over to me, and then I transferred it to a German account some months later when they offered this. But the new Kindle now actually also has different languages. So you can have the menu in German, which is not really interesting to me, but might be to some people. So that's about it. It's a great device. I love it. I bought a second one because the first one is kind of the family Kindle, and my girlfriend and I were both using it, and then I would always give her a preference. So now I have my own Kindle, which is awesome. So I mean, you can't really check these out in stores. You can only like order them from Amazon and give them back. So I hope this helps you a bit.